Welcome into Golden State Warriors today. Before we jump into today's show, I want to remind you guys to get subscribed to the channel. Free agency is still ongoing. There are still moves to be made, and we will cover everything that happens here on this channel, the latest news, rumors, and a whole lot more. So subscribe, share that link with a friend. It's youtube.com/WarriorsTV. Today, 3 stories around NBA free agency regarding the Golden State Warriors. You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham here, bringing you the latest Warriors rumors during NBA free agency. Obviously, a lot of the big names are gone, but there are still some notable names, and I actually want to start with a retired player. That would be one Darren Collison, who hasn't played in the NBA the past 2 seasons. He is reportedly set to work out for Golden State sometime this week. Like I said, has not played in the NBA since that 2018-19 season. And if you look at the Warriors roster and you think about it, you could use a quality backup point guard. Now, obviously, when it comes to a guy like Darren Collison, and really any NBA player that's getting older, he is 34 now, what's he going to look like after 2 years out of the league? How's he going to look during this workout? This feels like a long shot. This seems pretty unlikely, but I am intrigued because Darren Collison, for a decade plus, was a quality point guard. He was one of the best backup point guards in the league when he was still playing. Just a couple of years ago, he was still putting up good numbers. 11-6 as a fringe starting point guard. That'll play over 40% from three-point range. Now, again, the big question here with him is going to be, okay, well, can he still play at a good level? Can he be that true backup point guard for a contending team like Golden State wants to be? That will be the big question. But you think of the bench guards Golden State has. Obviously, I'm high on Jordan Poole. He had a nice little breakout season a year ago. Can he be a true backup point? Is he more of a combo guard? I'm not sure. Damian Lee is okay. I don't think Gary Payton II is any good. Moses Moody, okay, I think he can score a little bit, but he's not really a point guard, more of a combo guard, and he is a rookie, so that's kind of a lot to potentially put on his plate. Whereas if you get, 85% of what Darren Collison was when he retired, I think that's at least a 15 to 17 minutes per game point guard coming off your bench. I think that is quality, and that was a big problem last year with Golden State is the bench was terrible. When Steph Curry checked out of the game, this team fell apart, and you need to be able to play 6, 7, 8, 9, even 10 deep at times if you want to go on a serious playoff run. As you Warriors fans know, sure, it was about the stars when they were winning titles, but also the depth was critical as well. Getting more depth would be very, very nice for Golden State. So what do you guys think? Should the Warriors sign Darren Collison? Type S for sign, type P for pass. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'll be fascinated to see what the notes coming out of this workout end up being. It should be very, very fascinating. So type S for sign, or you can type your P for pass. Now, today's show is sponsored by BetUS, and there is money to be made once basketball season gets here, but there's money to be made right now. The NFL is here. Week 1 is just around the corner, less than 2 weeks away. You can get a 125% deposit bonus at BetUS when you go to chatsports.com/bet. Use our promo code CHAT125. Let's take a look at some Week 1 odds with some of these West Coast teams. Maybe you're a Chargers fan. I doubt it. -1 against Washington. 49ers, a lot of 49ers fans are Warriors fans. I know that. 7.5-point favorites against Detroit. Detroit is terrible. I am hammering San Francisco in this game. I'm going to make some money. Rams, -7 against the Bears on Sunday Night Football. Bears quarterback Andy Dalton stinks in prime time. Gamble on the Rams. And then Raiders +4.5 against the Ravens on Monday Night Football. Check out those odds and all of the other Week 1 matchups at BetUS. It's chatsports.com/bet. Use our promo code CHAT125 to get that 125% deposit bonus. Put down $100. They're going to go ahead and give you an additional $125 for free. More NBA free agency rumors here around the Golden State Warriors. How about Paul Millsap? The latest from Shams Charania is that the Warriors still in the mix among the teams pursuing Millsap. Golden State obviously could use some front court help, like we just talked about with Collison, could use some depth as well. And the nice thing about Millsap, versatile player, but not just in terms of his play style, as a starter and a bench player as well. He can start. He can come off the bench. He can play the 3. He can play the 4. He can defend multiple positions. He can shoot the ball as well. Paul Millsap, even though he's 36 years old, can be a viable player on a championship contending team. And if you're Golden State, that would be a very, very nice addition when you think about some of the competition you're going to have to go up against in the Western Conference with the Lakers, the Jazz, the Clippers, the Suns, all these other teams that continue to add players this summer. So according to Shams, these are kind of the 4 teams right now in the mix for Millsap. Brooklyn makes sense if you can get them for cheap. Chicago, who's been very aggressive and busy during NBA free agency. Golden State, and then the LA Clippers as well. Clippers an interesting option considering Kawhi Leonard may miss all or at least most of this upcoming season. Millsap kind of plays that similar position there, so he could start for the Clippers. But if you're Golden State and if you could get Paul Millsap, that's a nice addition. I'm not going to say that's franchise changing or anything like that, but he's your 4th, 5th, 6th best player behind Steph, Clay, potentially Draymond if he bounces back, Andrew Wiggins as well. We'll see kind of where James Wiseman fits in. If you could sign Millsap and he comes off your bench with Poole, Andre Iguodala, maybe a couple of other pieces as well, I'm feeling a lot better about how this roster is well-rounded, whereas it's been top-heavy the past couple of years, especially due to injuries to guys like Steph and Clay. One more story to come, but want to remind you guys to subscribe to us here at Golden State Warriors Today. The link is below, youtube.com/WarriorsTV. Myself, Chase Sr., the entire Chat Sports team will continue to bring you the latest Warriors news, rumors, free agency coverage, and a whole lot more. So subscribe and don't miss any of our videos. All right, final story. Are the Warriors going to pass on Avery Bradley? Report coming out of NBC Bay Area is that the Warriors are, quote, very unlikely to sign Bradley. One of the top free agent guards left, didn't play that well last year, was banged up most of the season as well. I do know that Golden State was interested in him last offseason. After he opted out of the rest of the year with the Lakers in the bubble. Then he signs with the Heat, ends up with the Rockets. Kind of a lot of movement that happened with Bradley this past year. Did not shoot the ball well this past season. He was also banged up a lot, only played in 27 games. For a career, he's about a 37% three-point shooter. We know how good of a defender is. He's not going to give you a ton offensively at this point, but Golden State the last couple of years has struggled on the defensive side of the floor. So if you had Avery Bradley and Andre Iguodala coming off your bench as pretty solid defenders, that's pretty good because Bradley's a very good defender, even at this point in his career. He's not locked down. He's not all pro at this point, but he can guard 1s, 2s, sometimes 3s, but that might be a little tough for him at this point in his career, but 1s and 2s for sure. And, if you get him back on a good team with a good offensive team, he should be able to shoot a little bit better from three-point range than he did last year when he shot like 32.5% from 3. Maybe he can give you 35, 36%. Bit surprised that it sounds like they're out of the mix here. Maybe they'll circle back to him at some point during free agency. So there you go, 3 stories around players that are still available in NBA free agency. Darren Collison, Paul Millsap, and Avery Bradley. Name a player you would like to see the Warriors sign before training camp gets going in late September. Maybe it's one of those 3, maybe it's someone else. Let us know in the comments, and we will see you next time here on Warriors Today.